Alright, this video I'm gonna show you guys the tricks, because when I do my videos and I speak all facts, basically what's going on here at Transam and what you should know before you come here or considering to come here, you know what I mean? Because it's not fun and games with these people. And this message, they might respond to my last message I sent them a while ago. Meanwhile, I'm doing this video, but I'm gonna show you, some of the things that goes on here at Transam, in terms of the miles and everything. All right. Firstly, my aim, like any other driver, is to make 3,000 miles a week, right? And I tell you guys in previous videos that I see somebody commented on one of my videos the other day and was telling me about the 62 and the 65, running 65 all the way through, and how many miles you can get. Transam trucks are governed at 62, lease operators are at 64. So they do that, in my opinion, less wear and tear on the truck to get more miles on the truck or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like a benefit for them making the truck slow. It's not even like a safety issue or whatever the case is. But that's not what this video is about, basically. Right now, before I started this load that you're looking at, I was already at like 1,600 miles, right? Now looking at this is almost 1,500 miles. You can see it's 250 miles empty and then 1,235 miles loaded. All right, so with that being said, the pay period cuts off at Thursday midnight, which is today. So my aim is to drive as much of these miles before 12 midnight tonight. This way it's going to put me close to 3,000 miles by the end of the pay period. So Friday morning they send you a message and say, oh, this is your next pay miles or whatever. I'll be right around 2,900, 2,850 or so. No, let's look at the times they give you. This is where the tricks are. Look at the time. All right, the first one, the pickup time and date is the 4th at 9 o'clock. I got there on the 11th in the afternoon. I tried checking in. They said my dispatcher or my company made the appointment time for the next morning, which was the 4th, right, at 9 o'clock. I said, okay, I go ahead and shut down. The shipper was right across the road, so they had parking, so I parked there, shut down. I got up 8:30 the next morning, finished doing my pre-trip by 8:30 the next morning. I went ahead and go over there. I didn't start my clock or anything to go over there because it's literally across the street, and I wanted to be loaded before I start my clock. So I went ahead. Basically, while I was in the dock, that's when I did the pre-trip. I logged the pre-trip. I did the pre-trip inspecting the truck before I went over there, and then just basically sat inside the truck while I was in the dock. Before I started moving, that's when I logged my pre-trip, right? All right, so I got my clock started right after they unload. They got me loaded. Now this has stops on there. You can see stop number 1, stop number 2, right? And then I'm supposed to do relay in Kansas. That's at the terminal, right? All right, check this out. Okay, the 4th. So this is where I'm at right now. So I get loaded. They literally put 2 pallets in the truck, so it took like literally 10 minutes after bumping the dock. By 9:05 I was loaded and out of there. So I logged my pre-trip, got moving at 9:05. All right, look at this time. 12 o'clock. This is midday, right? 3 hours basically later after that one. How many miles is this away from this location? This is 12 miles. That's literally like 15-20 minutes drive, right? So I left there at 9. Let's say I got there at 10. So I got here at 10. I'm supposed to be there at 12. They got me loaded, right? Because they're basically like loading me here, loading me there. They call it a pickup. So I got loaded by 11. All right, check this out again. The 5th, 14:30. That's 2:30 in the afternoon on the 5th. How far is this away from here? You might think, okay, maybe it's a little bit of distance. Maybe it's like 300 miles in between. So that's why they put the appointment time so long. Nah, it's not. It's literally 7 miles away from this location. 7 miles. So I got here by, I'd say, a little bit before 12 o'clock, right? And they were able to load my truck, so I could get moving by, I'd say, 1 o'clock. Basically, by the time I started driving, the greater portion of the miles is I had 9 hours and 52 minutes, I believe, of drive time. That I can do a good portion of miles, and that's on the 4th, not on the 5th. So bear in mind, I'm not supposed to leave New Jersey until the 5th, right? Okay, so I get driving down the road. I drove almost 600 miles on the 4th, right? So I go ahead and I shut down, take my 10 brake. Soon as my 10 brake is up, I go ahead and I start moving again, right? So I start moving again. As soon as I start moving, Transam, they can see, because I tell you in some of my other videos, if you read through some of my comments, you'll see what I say. And I've seen other drivers saying the same thing, so I know it's not just me. There is always something, dude, that they put in the middle of the way to stop you from getting 3,000 miles. I see them do it every week. Every driver's aim is to make 3,000 miles. They're not going to plan you out for the 3,000 miles. They're going to tell you in driver recruiting that you're going to get 3,000 miles. You ain't going to get it, bro. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for you to get the 3,000 miles that you need. So I'm basically ahead. I'm 600 miles ahead up the road on this load, because I wasn't supposed to move until the 5th. On the 4th, at the end of the 4th, around 10 or so, I stopped driving. I was already 600 miles up the road on the 4th. So the 5th, I started again. As soon as my 10 brake was up, I already showered, got moving. About 60 miles up the road, Transam can see that basically I have all day today, right, the 5th, to finish that trip, because I have like 700 miles left on the trip. Now, I might not be able to drive all 700, but I surely will be able to drive at least the 600 miles, right? And the 600 miles to a fuel solution, and then to a late. Now, if I drive 500-600 miles today, that's gonna put me right close to 3,000 miles where I need to be. So Transam can see that, the planners can see that. They see that I have the time and everything. This is what they did. All right, check this out. So that's that load. This is what they did. These are all fleet messages, all that stuff. All right. I'm gonna show you what they did. Just give me a second. All right, there. They hit me with a relay 10:32 in the morning. Right? Look at the relay. So they said the relay is gonna be there approximately 2100 on the 5th. That's tonight. 2100, 9 o'clock tonight, right? Oh, give me a second. I need to go offline for this post trip. Put it in a sleeper bird instead. I see even this with this Garmin. I don't even know what the hell is going on with this Garmin. But check this out. All right, back to where I was. Is it this one? Yeah. So check it out. They hit me with a relay saying the relay is gonna be your 2100 on the 5th. That's 9 o'clock tonight, right? 9 o'clock tonight. So basically it's 1:55, 2 o'clock right now, right? And when I'm going off, I'm gonna be off for 10 hours. Now let's count from, that's gonna be what, 10 hours, that's gonna be 12 midnight, exactly when the pay period cuts off, right? That's the time that I'll be able to move again, right? So it's 2 o'clock right now. I have hours to complete my aim, to make my target amount of miles. And this is what they did. They stop you in between that trip to have you sit from now until 2100 tonight when the relay gets here, for you to take that load. And even if the relay gets here at 9 tonight, you might be saying, oh, you still have 3 hours you can drive to get as much miles in. No, I can't drive, because I'm going to be off for 10 hours. By the time my 10 break is up, it's already 12 o'clock, 12 midnight. The pay period already ends at 12. The aim is to get as much miles in before the pay period cuts off. You see what I mean? You see the trick to it? When they tell you 2100 on this thing, bro, this 2100 can be 001, like basically like 1 o'clock. You can sit here until 1 o'clock, because I've had them tell drivers I'm gonna be there 10 in the morning, and I drove my full clock with no traffic, my full 11 hours literally, and I wasn't there until 3:30 in the afternoon, like 4, 5, 6 hours later. You know what I mean? So it's stupid, bro. There's always something in between of you getting the miles. So they call me, because every time they send you a relay, they gonna call you. You know what I mean? They call me to notify me about the relay, and I explain the situation to them. This is the next thing too. I'm gonna show you something right quick. Check this out. See this? Some idiot, while I was parked at a TA just like I am right now, some idiot gazing and not basically paying attention to what he was doing, and he hit my truck again. You know what I mean? He hit my truck 2 days after I posted that video saying somebody hit my truck. So his company decided that they were gonna fix it and all, have it fixed. I had to get a police report and all that stuff, right? So I called Transam, I tell them what's going on. They said, is it my driver side mirror? I said, no, it's on this driver's side, but it's not the driver mirror, it's the spot mirror. They're like, okay, it's still legal to drive, but you don't want to be taking chances with DOT, you know what I mean, with your truck in certain conditions and all that stuff. So basically they said, I told them this load that I was on, I was supposed to do a relay in Kansas at the terminal because my truck's been due for a service. So they were like, okay, that's perfect. Go have you loaded here as soon as possible so we can get that taken care of and have you safely driving on the road. No, they hit me with this relay. This relay they hit me with is supposed to be relayed in Kansas also. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, Why are you guys? It's more miles. Look, let me show you. Where is it? $762 miles, 215 loaded. Okay, it's more miles, yeah, in a sense, but even driving more miles at the end of the pay period, it's still not going to cut it, because they're still going to do some bullshit when it gets close to 3,000 again by next week. Secondly, even if I drive all these miles, at this point, yeah, I'm going to drive them because I'm at the relay point. Even if I drive all these miles, my truck's still going to be in the shop, not knowing how long when. So I'm still going to be sitting, so I'm still going to be missing days anyway. You know what I mean? So it only makes sense in my favor to get all as much miles I can get in, so my next paycheck won't be a shitty paycheck like all the other paychecks. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you all facts. I'm showing you guys literally what's going on here. You know what I mean? So they called me and I told the guy what the situation was. They texted me saying, please head to the relay location for the trailer swap. We can still get you into a facility once you're empty. Thanks, Sean from planning. I texted them saying, please send me my original load. I'm not going to the relay point. My driver manager texted me back and said, why not? What's wrong with the relay, Chloe? And I basically explained everything I told you guys. You know what I mean? It's not working in my favor. You see what I mean? It's not working in my favor, and with the mirror and everything, they haven't responded since. And basically, I knew what's going to happen. They're either not going, just not pay any attention to you, because they can see right now, even though I haven't sent my 0024 in to let them know that I'm at the relay location. They just not going to pay any attention to it. You know what I mean? They're not going to pay any attention to it. Because they don't care, bro. They're already getting paid what they're getting paid. They don't care about the drivers. They don't care if you got bills to pay or whatever. They don't give a shit about that. They just care about themselves. The messed up thing about that, like, I can drive overnight. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem doing it. But if I have a preference driving overnight or driving during the day, I'm obviously going to drive during the day, because I don't get sleepy. I could get rest, sleep all day, or sleep throughout some part of the day and still be tired as soon as I start driving at night. I guess it's just natural. You know what I mean? And it's my sleeping pattern of what I'm used to. Now, the thing is that I got a good night's rest last night to start moving to drive all the way through today. Now, they took me off this load, so I'm basically rested. You know what I mean? I got enough rest. I can't sleep through the day. By the time this relay comes, that's the time I'm gonna start feeling tired, and then that's basically when I'm gonna have to drive. That, you see how messed up that is? Man, I'm trying to stick it out, bro. Like, I'm trying to stick it out, like, to make my 6 months, man. In life, nothing worth having it doesn't come easy, obviously. Which I get, that I ain't got no problem working hard or whatever, dog. But, like, damn, man, these people is always playing games, bro. There's always something, man, when it comes to you making the miles, bro. I talk to other people that I know that works for different companies, dude, and like I know this guy, like, if you stay out for a month, let's say Transam give you 4 weeks and you get stay out for 4 weeks and you get 4 days off, or other companies, bro, if you stay out for like 8 weeks, then you get 8 days off. If you're with Transam, you stay on for 8 weeks, bro, you're still getting the same 4 days off. Like, when I'm supposed to go home, it's a problem where I can't get the days that I actually want. I gotta be taking other days, and that's inconveniencing me, dude. Like, I missed a great opportunity, to go local, to go work for a local company. It's a good start. 60K plus a year, bro. literally, and I'll be home every day and not working any weekends. They called me in for an interview, dude. Home time was already in. Call Transam. They can't get me home any earlier than that. All the days are already booked out. Try get me a load going to Florida, they can't get me a load. So basically I missed the opportunity, dude, for this bullshit, dog. You know what I mean? Man, oh man. Before you guys come here, bro, just beware, man. Just beware of the bullshit that goes on here. You know, stay safe out there. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comment sections what you guys think. If you're already here working for Transam, if you guys go through similar issues, or you know what's been going on with you guys, let me know in the comment section. And you know, have a Merry Christmas when it comes, and a Happy New Year, I guess. You know, peace out.